How's it going, dudes and dudettes? So, wanted to say really quick before the show gets started, happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully, you're safe, be safe. Whether it's flashlights, wearing stuff that's bright and not always dark stuff for Halloween, but make sure you are safe out there. Watch out if you're taking animals as well. Have them on leashes or not letting them get stepped on by all the foot traffic that's out there, and definitely make sure you check all your candies that your kids get, because you never know what can happen. It's always some crazy stooge people out there. So like I said, it's right before the show, so let's get started. So to start off, USC's head coach looking to take over the play calling duties and has let go of offensive line coach Neil Callaway, which I've been saying they should be doing, but they also should be getting rid of somebody else, which is coming up right now. So also, somebody looked at offensive coordinator Steve Martin's Twitter profile, and of course it changed from all USC players in the NFL right now to something automatically different once he found out he wasn't be calling the plays anymore. So that's something to look forward to, hopefully. And I've been trying to predict this whole entire time. Then also, USC's athletic director Lynn Swann came out saying he's all in with Clay Helton, saying he has his back. He knows that he can get the Trojans back on track, and everybody not to be worried, even if it is a 4-4 record as of right now, and it probably could be worse. But he says we should still stick with him no matter what. So USC has taken care of at least a few of the problems I had with their whole coaching staff. Yes, the offensive line has been atrocious the last few years, and so luckily they relieved him of his duties. And the fact that Clay Helton, the head coach, is actually going to be calling plays again, which he did a few years ago when they made it to the Rose Bowl. So obviously relieving T. Martin of his duties of calling the plays, and I think that's why you kind of saw him changing his stuff on Twitter. Hasn't really been saying much about the whole idea and what his new responsibilities are, but kind of hoping that he can move on from him, just because he has not been as productive as even when the coach's brother was on the team calling the plays a few years ago, when him and both his brother were calling it, and they led themselves to the Rose Bowl. But now we're going to see what he can do solo, and hopefully it's going to be somewhat positive and more controlled and balanced than it has been. And of course, Lynn Swann, the athletic director, saying he has his back, and even with the start and everything's going to be fine. I believe the same thing. The coach just has to make a decision whether he wants the team to do well or it's his career. So obviously he's going towards the route I said he should, is getting rid of the coaches first. And if by the end of next year, if he can't do anything and they have a bad record with as much talent as they have, then you should look to get rid of Coach Helton. But I think just one more year should be fine enough. Look at the Duke freshman making the cover of Sports Illustrated. Phew! Kyle Kuzma feels he should be a starter. And Hayes Pollard re-signs with the Chargers, ex-USC linebacker. It's very cool to see the Duke freshman being on the Sports Illustrated cover. That's really awesome. Hopefully it's continued success for them. It's going to be very interesting how the season plays out. And Kyle Kuzma wanting to become a starter. He believes he's a starter. I believe so too. It's just tough when the guy, one of the best players in the NBA, signs with your team at your position, so you're not really able to be a starter as you were during your rookie year. And with Brandon Ingram coming back right now from his 4-game suspension as well, puts Kuzma back on the bench. And you can't really go with 3 forwards and your tallest only being like 6'8", 6'9", especially right like in the beginning of the games. You always have to start off pretty tall for a certain type of matchups, and then you could eventually move to that. But it's going to be tough. I'm pretty sure there has to be a trade. I know a lot of people hated when I said they should trade Brandon Ingram and get what they could for him, but it looks more and more likely that they need somebody, especially that can help on the defensive end and can shoot threes as well. Definitely looking for a quality 3-and-D guy that you could get for Brandon Ingram, or a scoring point guard as well, just because Lonzo Ball and Rondo don't really give you that, and Lonzo Ball really has not been engaged. He even says so himself, that he should be more engaged into the game instead of just always being really passive. But just gonna have to do with that. That's his game as of right now. And we also have a bit of Chargers news, signing the ex-linebacker Hayes Pillar from USC that they've had on their team all of last year pretty much, and they did let him go before the start of the season, but now they brought him back, which is pretty cool. Great to see. It's just another USC player playing in the NFL again, so that's awesome. Always cool to see. They did a whole portrait or interview with Harry Giles, ex-Duke player, number 1, number 2 overall prospect coming out of high school, asking if he's going to get back to the way he was, or if he believes he can ever get to where he was like as a sophomore or junior in high school. I'd say he obviously can't, just because of 2 knee surgeries. It's going to be really tough. Even a guy like Jabari Parker, another ex-Duke player, had knee surgeries as well and still has not ever gotten back to his normal self, but he has become a better shooter, which is what I think. As long as Giles gets become a better shooter, more consistent shooter, especially from mid-range. I know everybody loves to shoot the threes nowadays in the NBA, but even a guy at his size shooting the threes could be a good enough weapon to make him last in the NBA a long time. And he's still athletic, so he can still challenge defensively and go for rebounds and stuff, so he could still be a very productive player in the NBA. That's what I see for him. And Moritz Wagner, the Lakers rookie, they recalled him up to the main team from the South Bay Lakers in the G League, so looks like he's ready to go, at least healthy enough to be able to play in an NBA game. Don't know if he's going to get any playing time, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. I can't really remember when they play, but obviously it's going to be on the next video, and that should be interesting. And then also Clinton Dix, I did not know about this during the trade deadline yesterday, that he was available from the Green Bay Packers, the safety or free safety, cornerback, whatever you want to call it. I've always had high hopes on him. I always really liked him a lot. For some reason, they haven't really been that high on him the past 2 years, even though he's still been productive and he's been a really great player for the Green Bay Packers so far in his career. And they just shipped him off to freaking Washington for, what was it, like a 3rd or 4th round pick. It's like, I can't believe the Chargers don't even ever do anything. Like I said when I did that thing, the last video, if they were going to buy or sell, I told you people they were going to sell or not even buy anything, and of course they sold. They didn't do any moves except this Hayes Pillar thing, but that, of course, is a free agent thing. That's not making a trade or anything like that. And if all you had to do was give up draft picks, I don't understand why you don't just do that to make your team better, especially since it doesn't even look like Joey Bosa is 100% healthy to come back this week, even though they've been saying all freaking year that he's going to. So it might be another week or two, which just freaking sucks, but have to wait and see. Of course, Juju Smith, only in his 2nd year, became the fastest Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver in their history to record 1,500 receiving yards last weekend, even though he had like only 33 something yards in the last game. He still got that record, which is pretty cool. Congrats to him. I already told y'all that he should have been a 1st round pick, and of course he's just balling for Pittsburgh. And then also a guy on the USC Trojans was named to the award list that I believe honors walk-ons, who are guys that weren't offered scholarships but they are still going to school there, and they made the team and they're able to be there, but obviously they're paying their own way and going to school there and all that stuff. So it's pretty expensive to go to school at USC, especially if you don't have a scholarship, football scholarship, anything like that. So awesome for him, Schmidt. Hopefully he can get it. We'll see how that goes. And to finish off this video real quick, so yes, it was a tough series. I did mention before the series started that I did have hopes for the Dodgers winning. It just was going to be tough against those bats of Boston, and that's what it seemed to be towards the end there. The past few games, they just ended up scoring and there's really nothing the Dodgers could do, which sucks. But you know, it's very hard to get to the championship. It's 2 straight years, and it just seems like the Dodgers are going to be in position to do that every year, since they're probably not going to re-sign Machado, I don't think, and then who knows what's going to happen with Kershaw, what he decides, if he wants to be traded or even end his contract. So you never know, but maybe you get something out of Kershaw if he's cool with you and wants to see what he could do somewhere else. You never know who you can get. There's also Bryce Harper out there. I know Jesse would like that as well, but we'll see how that goes. And the only thing I want to mention that even on my Twitter when the game was over, this relief pitcher that played in that final game, Joe Kelly, I actually went to high school with him. He was part of my graduating class. Didn't really know him or talk to him that much, but it's great to see at least one of us made it into the pros and is doing really well. Past quite a few years he's been in the MLB, it seems like, and stuck with Boston. So they love him a lot up there, and he's obviously played very well for them, and he did really well for that last game as well. So congrats to him. And then also the USC men's water polo team won I believe over the weekend 10-5 against Pacific. So that's cool. Obviously still dominating and winning. Let's see if this, like, if I put it down here, if it makes it look more like Halloweenish. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, happy Halloween. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Make sure you're always alert. And like I always say, have a great day.